are black women used as pawns by the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party uses black people to do their dirty work for them, yet they only reward a select few. Tim Black, how do you know they only reward a select few? Because we are 13, 14% of the population and we own less than 3% of the nation's wealth. That's how I know. White women own more wealth in America than black women and black men combined. Do you have a retort? Do you have a retort? We've been here just as long as them, but not longer. I want to submit to you that the Democratic Party does use black women as pawns, and the Democratic Party does get mostly black women to do their dirty work and rewards only a few. They get black people in general, but particularly black women. That's their favorite tool because he don't have a base. Not really. Oh, except if you count black women. That is his base. That's his crew. Black women. I gave you Kamala. I gave you Kamala. Thanks. I gave you Kamala. I gave you Shelley Brown, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Yeah, Ketanji. The Democratic Party uses black women to do what? Beat up on black men. They use black women in order to control black men in an attempt to control black men. I don't think it's working. It's no longer working because when we get fed up, we get fed up.
So it comes down to the messaging is not making it.
Can I just say
people.
just very quickly, I know I have a legal note. 83% of black registered voters identify as or lean Democratic. 81% of black men, 81% are in the Democratic Party. So I don't want to hear anymore that black men are voting for Trump. Black women resoundingly will show up for Biden, and they're going to bring their sons, they're going to bring their grandsons, they're going to bring their husbands, and the black vote will turn out for President Biden.
Sonny, that's a reference to a poll that says he used to have a 92% following. So the trend is down. I'm not saying they're going to go for Donald Trump.
Can I just point out before Sonny does her legal thing?
No, you can't. Remember, the premise of my show tonight is black women are used as pawns by the Democratic Party. I see pawn activity going on right there. In that video, tell me what you see. I see Sonny saying, she said it extremely, very plainly, no hesitation. Whoopi didn't clean it up. None of the white ladies felt a tinge of anything. She said black women will bring their sons. So their sons who are old enough to vote are what? Black men. Because kids can't vote, right? Got to be over 18 to vote. So these are grown-ass men. So they're going to bring black men to vote and bring their husbands. You know what you don't hear any other group do in America? Any other group? Not a single other group, man. I've been doing this 13 years, man. I have never heard white women say, we're going to make white men do shit. We're going to make our sons do X, Y, Z. I've never heard Asian women say, we're going to make our men do X, Y, Z. We're going to make our Asian sons do X, Y, Z for a political party. The only place it works, the only place it's allowed to work is with black men because black men get no respect. No respect. We are treated as infantile, stupid, ignorant, in need of guidance from our much smarter black women. There it is right there, man. It stings, don't it, black men? Don't it sting? Because you know I'm dropping bombs right now. Of course, there will be. I'm not saying it's in the Tim Black Wolf Pack or the Tim Black VIP section, because my people, they're not in their feelings. I'm saying this is what the Democratic Party does with black women. Sonny Holston is a marketer for the Democratic Party. Whoopi Goldberg, forget their titles, they're talk show hosts, whatever, man. These people are marketers, campaigners. That's their real job. Their real job is to move you to vote for Democrats. Excuse me. That's the true purpose. That's their real job. That's what they're really there to do. That's why everyone goes on the show. That's why they show up. Votes. Help Biden. And what I'm telling you is, black men are tired of this. What I'm telling you is, when we say black men are tired of it, this is why I had such a falling out with Tiffany Cross. This is why I said Tiffany Cross can get lost. You can't say Candace Owens should get lost without saying Tiffany Cross shouldn't get lost. If you want to see, if you undermine, I would not support somebody who undermines black men like that. And then try to camouflage it by saying, I'm trying to help you. I'm telling you, this is a strong part of why black men feel the way they feel about the Democratic Party and why Joe Biden is losing so many black voters, particularly, and black women are doing what? It looks to me like black women are actually following their men. Because you've gone from 92%. Last time we checked, it was at 92% last election. Now they're getting sub 80. It's approaching sub 80 numbers now. From 92% of the black vote in 2020 to sub 80. That is a 12-point swing. I think it's going to get lower. I think we're going to end up in the 70s. I called this about 5 months ago. 5 months ago, I called this. Black men, that is. I said about 70% of black men are going to leave the Democrats. They're going to leave them up to voting. Now, I'm not counting all the black men who are voting. All those black men who are not voting that said choosing the couch, I'm not counting them. Because you don't count when you don't vote. It doesn't, we're not talking about you. See, you're not in the conversation because we're talking about people who vote for Democrats and who don't vote for Democrats, not people who don't vote. Now, they'll feel it if people don't vote. Don't get it twisted. In fact, one of the reasons why they say Biden won was because of the larger than usual turnout of voters. I think it was like 65% of voters, somewhere around there. When it's usually like late or high 50s. So it was like low 60s, if I'm not mistaken, low 60s, and it's typically high 50s. Okay? So right now, Donald Trump is stepping up his pitch to black voters after his conviction on 34 felony counts. and they're saying that black men in particular share a frustration with the system. This is not about anything Trump has done or said, really. This is just about what happened. This is just about how we've always felt. If you didn't want us to be so adamant that we're tired of the criminal justice system, maybe you should have made a better criminal justice system. Maybe every resource that you have should have been spent trying to right the wrongs of that criminal justice system instead of telling me and telling brothers all over this country that somehow you alleviating charges for federal marijuana possession as if that did something. You know, maybe everything. Like, if you know, hey guys, let's cut the shit. The Democratic Party is not focused on winning elections. Not if they got to fundamentally change how America works, because you can't tell me going into this election, Joe Biden a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, didn't know the black male vote was going to be important. He had to know it. If you're a coach, if anybody, not just him, his team, forget what Joe knows. Joe may not even know what day it is. But the DNC and their consultants and their think tanks had to know the importance of the black vote, particularly the black male vote, because I believe it's the other way. I don't think black women will drive black men. I think black men will drive black women. And I'm seeing that happen because all of the desperation attempts by the Democratic Party, if black women are so glued and are doing what Sonny's saying, why are they running around like chickens with their heads cut off? There's nothing to worry about there. If black women are just going to bring black men to the polls and black men are so cucked, just a bunch of cucks walking around adhering to the dominatrix black woman, if that's the case, folks, what's all the hoopla about? What's all the hoopla about? If black men don't, you saying black men don't have agency? Black men can't make their own decisions? That black women, if they wanted to vote for Biden, couldn't just vote for Biden, but black men could make their own choices? So we in some weird thing where, oh, I know, black men are emasculated. This is what they're saying. Black men can't make their own decisions. I deny that. I'm opposed to this line of thinking in this narrative, but that's what they're selling. Who talked about boycotting The View after this segment? You want to boycott everybody else, cancel everybody else? You want to ban Dave Chappelle for trans jokes? Sonny wasn't joking. Whoopi sat there. Nobody flinched. It wasn't a joke. They're not. Sonny's not a comedian. She's a lawyer. Where are the think pieces? Where's the pushback? So the Democratic Party is trying to use black women. They have been using them up to this point, but I don't think it's going to be effective. I think the opposite's happening. In reality, what's happening is black men and black women themselves are seeing what's going on, and they are tired of it. Case in point, Biden. The White House is telling lawmakers that President Biden is preparing to sign off on an executive order that will shut down asylum requests at the U.S.-Mexico border once the average number of daily encounters hits 2,500 at ports of entry. With the border reopening only once that number declines to 1,500, according to several people familiar with the discussion. The impact of the 2,500 figure means that the executive order can go into immediate effect because daily figures are higher than that now. So Biden, the party of the Democrats, the leader, the figurehead of the leader of the Democratic Party, the globalist Democratic Party, who say, why we need borders, man? What's up? They know this is a talking point of the right. They know a lot of, also, forget the right, there are a lot of black people experiencing this. I had Dr. Musa Abdullah on the show just a couple days ago. He was saying how in New York, how resources in the school system is stretched so thin because of the influx of immigrants. And how classrooms are swelling. There were already too many students in one classroom. Now it's untenable what's happening. You're getting more people, but less resources. Same amount of resources you had before people. Some's got to give. And what's giving? Biden's giving. Biden said, I'm going to write an executive order. Why is he doing that? Because he's feeling the heat. So if what Sonny's saying is true, that black women do lead their men around by their noses, if that's true, why would Biden feel the need to change anything? He got black people in his pocket. Yeah, they use black women as a tool. They use the ones as spokesmodels. But the average everyday black woman at home with her husband that's married with kids, she ain't making her husband do nothing he don't want to do. But they want that to happen. That's what they want. That's their talking point. See, if you keep saying a thing, they hoping it will manifest. If they keep saying it, maybe it'll manifest. I say no. I say it won't manifest. I say the opposite will be true, and the number of people will be so insulted that you only help Trump. Here goes my point. Here's this clip that was posted on Twitter.
Peace, TK.
What up, Charlamagne? What up, Jeff?
What up?
What's your thoughts, brother?
Well, I'm going to tell you, man, I feel like Trump got did dirty, and I don't trust the system at all. You know what I mean? Especially being through the system. I'm the same one that called yesterday about that dog situation. So it's like, after you've been railroaded by this system, and you see that when you walk in the courtroom, they want you to be guilty. You're going to be guilty. I don't got no trust in that process at all. You know what I mean? I rock with Trump. I feel like that he way better than Biden. You know, Biden, I can't stand him. Biden the devil, man. Biden the same one. Y'all remember them politicians in the 90s? I know y'all got family members that was victim of that.
The 86 mandatory minimum sentencing, the 88 crack law, 94 crime bill. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, thank you, TK.
Okay. All I'm saying is that black people are responding to it, and there it goes right there. In fact, that was tweeted out by who? Donald Trump Jr. That's who tweeted that out. It's not black men. See, what has happened is a series of events have led us to this point where this situation has caught black men where black men already were. That man, that brother that was speaking there on that video, on that phone call with Charlamagne and Envy and Jess, he didn't form this opinion about the justice system after what happened to Donald Trump. He already had this opinion of the justice system based on his life experience, man. And now what's happened has only coincided with his core belief about how corrupt the system is and how it's pitted against us. This is not a Trump manufactured idea. Once again, what has happened is these events are starting to align with our worldview already. It's the other way. Democrats trying to sell it like Trump make black people think this, that he sees things their way. No, black people see it this way, and Trump starts stepping into the frame. It's like I got a camera and I'm taking a picture, and someone walks into the frame of the picture. You were already taking the shot. I'm already taking the shot, y'all. And you step in front of the camera, and you are my picture. That's what's happened with this Trump event. But here's the deal. The Democrats pushed him there. That's what they're not telling you. That's the part they're leaving out. That's not part of the narrative, but that's a part of the official record. He didn't charge himself. My name is Tim Black. Go to jointimblack.com or hit subscribe right here on this channel. Subscribe now. Ain't nobody putting it down like this. This is important stuff. I want us to further grow the consciousness of all voters. I want us all to be operating with a full deck. I want us all to have a full clip of information. I'm tired of us walking around on some he say, she say, and falling in line with the nonsense of the Democratic Party. It has to stop. It does not benefit us. Who does it benefit? Not us. Not us. Now they're trying to turn black women against black men. You think we need that just to help Joe Biden? Biden's policies are now trying to align with Trump in order to win an election. But I thought Trump was the devil. Why are you adopting even more of his policies? Forget the ones you never rescinded. He didn't really change the tax plan, y'all. People talk like he did. Them cuts for the rich, those are in place. They changed a little bit for the top, but they didn't change it all for us. In a race that could be decided by margins, this shift of black men and black women could mean game over. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Donald Trump's conviction has highlighted the affliction of the American criminal justice system. And as it relates to blacks, he should continue to say what he's been saying, and that is, I feel your pain. That's all. See what I'm saying? This is the point I'm making. Forget what Bakari Sellers says. Bakari Sellers is a talking point, a talking head for the Democrats, just like D.L. Hughley, just like Joy Reid. They're just black people. They're paid very handsomely to do what they do, which is ride for their team, ride for their gang. But it doesn't help us. It helps them. They benefit from that. And what I'm saying is, this is perfect. He highlighted his conviction highlights. It's not, he didn't, this is not a ruse. What I'm saying is, the way that some of the Democrats talk about people, black men in particular, relating to Donald Trump, they talk like it's a ruse put on by Trump. Man, he didn't convict himself. He didn't put all those charges on himself. He didn't stick Fannie Willis on himself as a strategy in order to invoke this. You did this. You never once did Biden come out and say, hey, I didn't do it, had nothing to do with it, and I think it's wrong. You think Americans don't believe the Democrats are behind this? You really believe that the Democrats have anything to do with this? They talk as if Biden is free of this. The Democrats are free of this, and we know it's not. And if you look at the polling, more Americans feel this is politically motivated. This whole instance, what's happened with Trump, it further exposes our legal system. That's not good for Biden. You heard Charlemagne just rattle off all those pieces of legislation that Joe Biden either was the architect of or was the co-sponsor of that hurt black Americans. They easily rattle off the Central Park Five. I told you, Trump should apologize for that a long time ago. If he's got any sense, if he wants to win this election, he better apologize for that. That's well within reason to apologize for. You took out 3 ads in 3 different papers trying to get some people on death row who were found innocent, and then you got quiet. That's the problem. But see, I got character. I'll say that. You won't hear Democrats say that Joe Biden needs to do anything for his past in criminal justice. But that's the difference in this show and those shows. That's the difference. That's also the difference in some people who are boosting Trump. They won't tell the truth. But see, I'm black before I'm anything else. I'm black and I'm real and I'm who I am. And even if I lose people, and even if you drive by Trump supporters, don't want to hear it, here it go. Trump needs to apologize for that. Run tell that. He needs to apologize for that. But see, they won't rattle off those pieces of legislation that Joe Biden was the architect of that touched far more people. Trump was a private citizen. Biden was a lawmaker. What are we doing here? What are we doing here, Bakari? What are we doing here, Mark Lamont Hill? What are we doing here, Angela Rye? What are we doing here, Roland Martin? What are we doing here? Make it make sense. How are you comparing a private citizen to what someone did as a senator? When I bring up Kamala Harris's record, I'm not talking about what she did as a private citizen. I'm talking about what she did as Attorney General, and I'm talking about what she did as a senator and as a prosecutor, lead prosecutor, San Francisco. I'm talking about what she did in a professional capacity, not what she did as Kamala Harris dating Montel Jordan. Yeah. Montel Williams, my bad. Montel Jordan. This is how we do it. See, I really am of the culture. I really am. I'm truly a part of the culture. I grew up with that. No window dressing here to try to get black people to follow somebody who's really not a part of the culture, denounces the culture, stays away from the culture, then jumps in to try to get your viewership. I make those slips sometimes. Because we know. That used to be the joint. Anyway, Montel Williams. I'm not talking about when she was with Montel Williams. I'm talking about when she was a sworn official, what she did in her official capacity that hurt black people and poor people. Don't forget poor people now. Unless you rich, you can catch hell. They love talking about Trump with the apartments him and his dad owned, and they settled out of court. They said, hey, they did not agree to any wrongdoing. They weren't written to black folks. Shameful shit. Shameful. Sort of like Joe Biden as a senator supporting or not supporting busing. Sort of the same thing. It's all about segregation, right? So he wanted to keep his apartments, well, him and his dad, because he was probably in his 20s at the time. This was the 70s. Dad was still here running the company, but we don't care about that. No one cares. But when we blame Hunter Biden, and Biden, people go, that's his son. His son is 50. He was doing cocaine off a hooker's thigh with a gun in his left hand in 2015. But you'll go all the way back to 1970 something and hit Trump with something when him and his dad owned an apartment building. And I'm not even saying you're wrong for going after Trump on that. We're not gonna mess with Biden though, huh? Okay. The point is that people see hypocrisies. It don't matter if Roland don't mention it. It don't matter if the Democratic Party operatives won't mention it. The truth is, it's a hypocrisy. And you know what? No one would care if Biden just pulled up the Brinks truck and emptied it out in the black community. Everything I'm saying to you, I wouldn't be saying to you if Biden just pulled up the Brinks truck like he pulled it up for Ukraine and pulled it up for the blacks, black Americans. Got here last week. Very nice, Candace. Where your mama from? Put Costa Rican on your profile, your modeling profile. I'm not black. I'm Costa Rican. Okay, fine. So everything I'm saying to you, I would still say it, but I'd be like, but I could overlook it because he's pulling that Brinks truck up. But where's the Brinks truck? Once again, the Democratic Party, Democrats use black people to do their dirty work, yet they only reward a few. See, I'm not okay with Just Bakari and Angela Rye and Tiffany Cross and Joy Reid and Don Lemon and these few black people getting biscuits. That's not good enough. I don't feel it's good enough for us. My kids need biscuits too. Your kids need biscuits. Where's it? Everything I'm saying to you would be, okay. But see, the operatives that are getting theirs because they're getting their biscuits and they're getting their advertisers, they're getting their advertisers, they're getting their money, they're making their career advancements, they're getting opportunities. They're fine, they're good to go. They're good to go. They're very happy. And as long as they stay happy, then they'll just keep doing their jobs. And they'll just say, hey, I can't help everybody. I can't help all these blacks. I can't, what's my job? So what good is it me losing my little slice of the pie in order to help these black people? I don't know. Yeah, I feel you, dog, but so I'm going to have to go ahead and give you this work. So this is nothing personal. You chose that side of the ball. We're on this side. You're on that side, so that's what you get. You get this work. Don't act surprised when you get this work. Take it just as what it is. Part of the job, right? So when I say, hey, calling out Trump on the Central Park 5 in the 80s, that's fine. And I say Trump should apologize for that. Then the apology big enough for actually taking people's lives. Do you realize how many people died in jail when Biden did the ratio between crack cocaine and coke? Do you realize how many people died in jail? Why? Because you don't know their names? Because we can't give you a number? You do know people die in jail every day, right? You do understand that, right? Unspeakable things have happened to people incarcerated in our criminal justice system. Biden helped blow that up. Biden helped increase that in your neighborhoods, in my neighborhoods, my cousins, my brothers, people my age group. We were the brunt of the crack era. We lived through that. I walked through that period of time. You know how many black men did not survive it? but no one holds him accountable for it. It's considered the past. His past is considered the past, and everyone else's past is considered present. And fair game. Why is it different? And once again, we could, if they really wanted us to overlook it, they back it up. They back that thing up. Where's that bricks truck at? Where's it at? You did it for Israel? Back the Brinks truck up. They don't have to if they can get black women to stab black men in the back and try to force black men to go with Biden. They think that's really going to work because they got some black women that they control right now, a lot of them, several of them, who are willing to do anything and say anything for Zaddy. That's what they're willing to do. Those notable black women that they take advantage of. I'm not saying Republicans don't do similar. Come on, man. Omarosa, that's horrible. Candace Owens, that's horrible. But they play this role. They're accepting the assignment. Sonny is, Whoopi's accepting the assignment, and many others in media are accepting the assignment to try to funnel black men and spread the myth that black men can't make up their own damn minds. I'm telling you, I reject it, and I'm telling you, black men are making up their own minds, and even black men can't convince them. Hell, I'm trying to get black men off the couch only because I see an opportunity for a third party. And I'm having a hard time convincing black men. And I'm a black man. And I'm trying to talk to brothers, and I'm not having a hard time. You really think black women are having a better time of telling black men, trying to get black men to do something? Nah, man. They're going to make up their own minds. All I can do is make a suggestion. All I can do is say, hey, consider this. I ain't trying to offend you, but consider this. Instead of get mad, they're like, don't be telling us what to do. Leave us alone, Tim Black. We good. All right? I'm not talking to you then. I'm talking to somebody else. Because I believe this is a very special moment where we got them Democrats over a barrel. Some of y'all believe the best way to keep them over the barrel is not to show up. I'm telling you, the difference is these numbers, when they're looking at 92, we drop it to 70s, in the 70s, not voting for them, dog. And they weren't able to make black women do their bidding. They weren't able to send black women to do their bidding. Watch that pin come out. Watch that pin come out. It's going to have to. You don't want the pin to come out. We're going to have to force the issue. They are using black women against black men. And once again, folks, I have never heard this before. I've never heard Erin Burnett. What's she on, MSNBC or CNN? I think she's MSNBC. Caitlin Collins, whatever her name is. Those other white women on The View, why weren't they saying that? They need white men to vote too. They need white men to vote for Trump. Why aren't they saying that? Why aren't the white men saying, hey, hold on a second? I mean, if we count it per capita, more white guys vote for Trump than black men, and if we counted straight up numbers. Why aren't the white women in corporate media saying it? Because those white women will be offended, and those white women will not offend those white men in that way. Why is it okay for you to do that with Mrs. Black? Why is it okay to offend Mrs. Black and Mr. Black with that BS? As if Mr. Black and Mrs. Black don't have control of our own ideas, minds, bodies, autonomy. Joe Biden is so worried about this election. They got wishful thinking that these black women will be able to make black men bow to whatever they say and just go along. Now they're going to move on immigration. The numbers, part of the reason why Trump won was not just the black vote, it was winning the young vote. But a lot of young people don't like what's going on in Gaza. What's Biden willing to do about Gaza? That's hurting him with young voters across the board. What's he gonna do? See, the pen gotta come out. Or take the L. Pen comes out or you take the L. Once again, this is Tim Black. Go to Join Tim Black, subscribe. Here, click the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Let people know what show you're watching. Let the algorithm know. It helps a lot, guys, because it's important we get the message out. I think the entire world needs to know you can't just disrespect us. How would you feel? To any of my non-black voters out here, any of my non-black viewers, how would you feel if they told your wife, said to you, yeah, your wife will go make you do it? Your wife will make you do it. But white men, how you feel about that? How does that strike you? Is that arrogant as hell? Isn't that arrogant? Is Sonny married to a black man? I know like she's black, Latina or something. Is she married to a black man? Has Whoopi ever dated a black man? I don't know. I'm just wondering, since we talked about what black men will do. But white guys, how would you feel about that? Somebody up here telling you, some white woman up here telling you that your wife will make you do it. Like, everybody's supposed to have their own agency. Everybody's supposed to make their own minds up about what they're going to do with their vote. We hear all this time about black people died so that black people could vote. Black people had dogs sicked on them, were shot in the head, were thrown in ditches and buried alive. All this horrible stuff we hear about in order for black people to have a right to vote. I thought that meant we get to vote the way we want. I thought that's what that meant. But no, it doesn't if you're a Democrat. The elitist Democrats think you have the right to vote the way your black woman wants you to vote, Blackie. Or as Biden made it so famously said it, they're going to put you back in chains. They're going to put you back in chains. Democrats use black people to do the dirty work, and only a few are rewarded. Only a few. Wow, we had a good time. I had a good time with that. Trump on TikTok exposes the reality. Don't get me wrong, Trump is in trouble. Things are not rosy. It's not looking like a cakewalk for Trump. I think Trump approached the Supreme Court, trying to get them to nullify the conviction. There's a lot going on right now. I'm not saying anybody's out of the woods, but what I'm saying is what they're doing right now with black women is unconscionable. They have no shame. Sunny Hostin should be ashamed of her damn self. Should be ashamed of her damn self, but she's not, because that money is good. Whoopi should be ashamed of herself. That is repugnant, disgusting, racist as hell. My Asian brothers, my Indian brothers, my Latino brothers, I don't hear them talk that way about you. How would that make you feel? If they were saying, your woman controls you, your woman tells you who to vote for. See, it's against everything. Everything that we've been hearing in the whole feminist movement was about women having the right to make their own decisions and don't no man control a woman, and she gets to choose when and where, why, and how often, whatever it is. From the career she takes, if she decides to take a career or not take a career, you decide to marry you or have the child or keep the child or raise it on their own, divorce you, stay with you, sleep with you, not sleep with you, whatever she wants to do, she is an autonomous human being capable of her own decisions. Damn you, that's what it is. Respect it. And the whole notion is that men enjoy this personhood to an extent that women don't. But what I'm saying is what we're seeing here and what plays out every election It's so disgusting. And I pointed it out in other elections. This ain't the first time. There was some dumb shit about vote or no something, no rhythm. I'm trying to keep it a little clean, but there was something. I remember during the midterms, they were doing this with black women. Just as silly and just out of bounds, just off code, just disrespectful. Black women gonna withhold sex from their husbands if they don't go out and vote. Once again, you never hear this type of shit in white America. I don't remember there being a comparable type of thing, trend going on in Latino America or in Asian America. So somehow you still got that anti-Asian hate bill. Somehow that happened. What I tell you, black people get used, but only a few get rewarded. But I want to know in the comment section, how does that make you feel? I say it's not going to work. I'm telling you that I believe it's way past that. That damage control ain't going to fix it. The damage control will not fix it. Biden's way past that point. Back the Brinks truck up. Back up the truck. Cut the check. I'm going to say back the truck up. Back the bank truck up. Back up the money truck. Or shh. Is anybody saying that before? Is that a new one? Back the money truck up. Because that's what time it is. And take this away. This is your talking point, fam. When people like Bakari Sellers make statements like, y'all out here acting like Trump is Mandela. Cut it out. Trump broke the law. 12 years held him accountable. When Bakari Sellers and all the other Bakari sellout sellers is out here saying these statements on Twitter, y'all just remember, I thought we don't trust the criminal justice system. It's funny. They've been using the criminal justice system all this time, saying how horrible it is. They were all supporting Black Lives Matter and supporting all of the fight for justice. And then when they get one white guy they don't like, they go, hey, forget everything I said. Sometimes it works. And all the black people that are going, no, it's still the same system it always was. Nobody saying Trump is Mandela. What's happening is this situation is aligning with where we already are. Y'all moved into our frame. We didn't move it. Black men didn't move into Trump's frame. Y'all moved Trump into our frame. That's what you did. You did it. Your media did it with round-the-clock coverage, round-the-clock demonization of a guy for almost a decade. For 10 years, you kept calling the guy the devil. I've heard people call him Hitler. For 10 years, you said this. We got a literal guy over there to put black people in the jail, the crack, the cocaine, exorbitant amounts of time, the hellacious amount of time for black man caught with crack and white guy caught with coke. A lot of those black men never made it out of that prison. And when they came out, they had PTSD, if they came out. But you want me to be still holding on to Central Park 5, and I'm still holding on to it. Like I said, Trump should apologize. But you want us to hold on to what he said as a private citizen with no power at all. But you want me to let that go? Then Trump lets a few people off for marijuana, off their marijuana convictions for federal marijuana convictions. You know, people that impacted about 3,000. I don't even know if it was that many. I don't even know if it was 3,000 people that impacted. You know how many people that were impacted by the first strike, the First Step Act. What was the number? 100,000? I don't know. I don't know if it was that many. There were thousands, tens of thousands of black people impacted by the First Step Act. But they won't talk about it. Why? Because it's a win for Trump. They don't care if it's a win. In fact, they rather that this First Step Act never have happened. Because it's not about really helping the people. It's about winning the game. They just want to win. They don't care about the cause. They don't care about who gets hurt, who doesn't get hurt. The Democrats play tough on crime, just like Trump's playing tough on crime when it suits them. It's all about this strategy at the time. And at the time, they wanted to get some of the Trump voters. They wanted to get some of the Republican voters. So they played tough on crime. Kamala played tough on crime to become lead prosecutor in San Francisco. She literally ran to the right of a progressive prosecutor. It's what they do. And now we got roosters coming home to roost. Put in the comment section what you think is going to happen with Joe Biden. What's going to happen now? No one's out of the woods. Trump is not out of the woods. He still has to deal with this. He has to deal with this. But I think that the Democratic Party continuing to use black women against black men, I think it's going to backfire.